And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Fortune City. Track your spending, grow a city. This game, you're going to be building a city and attracting people to work in your city and trying to get points by building different buildings and, I don't know, getting more people to come to your city. Here's how it plays. In each round of the game, players are going to take actions until everyone passes. Once everyone passes, you'll go to the next round. On your turn, a different action you can take is you can buy one of these tiles along with the associated citizen. The citizen goes to your park. The tile goes in your city like this. The tile goes in a construction yard like this. The cost of the tile is in the top corner, so that's $2 to put that good there. Another action you can take is you can take one of these two things that are in your construction spot, pay that cost again, and then you can build it, placing it in your city. When you place it in your city, it can't go next to any other tile that's that same color. So you can see here, for example, that this is pink. There's nothing pink here right now. It also gets a garbage can placed on it. This one does, because that's what this tile produces. It produces trash. If I was building this one, I could put this one here next to it, and that would also produce trash. If this one was empty for whatever reason, and I put a new one out, it fills all the empty ones next to it. Now, they all don't produce trash. If I decide to build a bank, you don't put a bank in production, it goes straight out. A bank will produce a coin on it. And you can never have anything below the bottom row. And other than that, the only rules are that you can't connect things that are the same color to each other, so this gray couldn't be next to that gray. If you buy a bank, you take a credit card, and at the end of a round, you're going to fill it up with 3 silver coins and a gold coin. A gold coin is essentially just let you build or buy a tile for free, so it's basically 3 or 4 coins at the most. You can buy 2 banks. When you buy your second bank, you'll refill it with 3 silver coins and a gold coin. If you already have a gold coin, you'll get an extra one. So that's basically how the game works between rounds. There's going to be a send out your worker phase, and if you have a color that matches the colored tiles that you build, you'll send out a worker to those colors. When you do so, you will move up 1 on each of those tracks. Now, there are 4 different tracks on the board here. These are going to increase your income between turns. Between turns, you're going to get 4 income, plus the income shown on the yellow and the pink track. So this adds 1 coin, 1 coin. I would get 6 income between turns. Moving on the green track, building green buildings is simply going to give you victory points at the end of the game. And moving on the blue track is going to give you victory points and allows you to move your truck further. Players are then going to move their truck 1 plus the extra distance shown on the blue, and each spot that it goes into, you can get rid of trash tokens, and if there's something else like a coin or a diamond, you can pick those up and put those in front of you. So moving your truck around is going to allow you to pick up these different items here, and maybe then I can put another tile in the future next to these, which would refill both of these again, and then maybe my truck can go pick those up again. That's what players are going to do turn after turn. You're going to keep going till the tiles are gone. In between rounds, you're going to refill this row up here to the number of players plus 2. And then from a bag, you're going to draw random people to go with them. So here I got some green people and a pink person. So it's not always going to be the person that goes in that building using it. However, players have an action where they can spend 3 to buy a VIP person here who can work in any building because they're just that awesome. At the end of the game, you're going to get 1 point for every diamond that you've collected. You'll lose 1 point for every trash can that's on your streets. You'll get points for where you are on all 4 of these tracks. And then each building that you've built is also worth victory points as shown in the corner here. Most victory points is the winner. So the game is small, and that's a problem because when I'm looking at these tracks, these numbers are hard to read. I mean, for example, this increases your income by 2 coins. That's not the easiest thing to look at. I mean, we can keep zooming here, and now maybe you can see it a little bit in the victory points, but I just wish, why not just put the number 2 inside the coin? That's one of my problems. I do like the bright and cheerful nature of it, even if the people from the back look like a mushroom, a tree, or a nuclear cloud. But it's pretty easy to tell which one goes in which buildings. Everything has a cutesy, almost maybe anime or app artwork. And, you know, the different goods and stuff, the diamonds, and everything's real small. The coolest thing about this game is that these look like actual Buster credit cards. I don't know if these are, I don't think that's a magnetic strip on them, but that's kind of neat to see this. That's a really cool component. Other than that, oh, and the bag is a really good quality bag too. But it's kind of, everything's small. There's a really nice score pad that's included with the game, so you can keep track of your scores at the end. And then there is a cat token here, and this is just to show who the first player is. Now, I started this Fortune City really excited about a lot of the cool things that are inside it. I like the idea of grabbing a building and a worker. That worker might be a different color than the building. I can use that worker later on, so I got to figure out the best combinations. The different buildings have different things on the other side. You know, if it's a 2-cost building, it usually has trash. On the other side, 3-cost has a coin. 4-cost has a diamond. That's some pretty neat ideas, but the game has a lot of flaws that I'm kind of surprised weren't caught in playtesting. It's interesting to see the truck and driving the truck around and picking things up. I like that concept. But the fact is, the garbage being -1 point and the diamonds being +1 point is not a very cool way to get points. You can drive around and try to make it so you get more diamonds and everything. You get 4 or 5 points from diamonds. It's way better to move up on the tracks. Another problem with the game, moving up on the blue and the green tracks give you a ton of points. Far outsells everything else. And there's not enough green buildings go around. I want to say there's like 9 green buildings, and I think the farthest you can move on a green track is 6. So if you're playing with, especially with 3 or 4 players, you're going to be fighting over those green tiles, and therefore no one gets any points because you have to go for green tiles. And if someone else gets a green tile, you might as well grab the green people that they can't get them. Which brings me to the next point. VIPs are interesting, so you might as well buy them because you can use them everywhere. And you just buy them to stop other people from using them. So the game comes down to it not, ooh, look at the town I built, but oh, this is all I can build, so now I'm just going to block you. Moving the truck around and picking things up, cleaning up the trash, picking up points and coins is a great idea. I would have loved if the game had worked more on that and given some interesting thoughts. The credit card for getting a bank is also such an obvious move. In fact, the whole first turn of the game is Captain Obvious time. There's 2 pink buildings and 2 orange buildings, each come with their own worker. So in your first turn, you buy one. If you don't, you're going to lose because you want that income. So everyone's required to buy one of those, and then everyone will move their truck 1 space and get rid of the garbage of the building they just picked up, and everyone will likely buy a bank because the bank gives you money. By the way, the whole money credit card thing is a little wonky rule which doesn't really fit in the game. So while I like the cuteness of the game, the scripted first turn, which doesn't really do anything, the I hope I'm first when the tiles I need come up is another problem with the game. The moving the truck around, which seems like a really cool thing, doesn't really affect the final victory point totals. And the whole game just feels like a wasted opportunity. It feels like a good idea that with development could have been fantastic. As it is, I'm going to have to sadly give a pass to Fortune City. I also want to briefly point out that the cover here is not too easy to read. I don't think a pencil equals a T at all. So we kept looking and going, is that Fortune City? I mean, it's Fortune City, but just isn't the most obvious thing in the world. Anyway, this is a pass for me. Dice Tower Judgment, great ideas, needed better execution.